This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live 100 feet from the Gulf of America. Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for coming to Wahoo Willie's, and welcome to another exciting episode of Sundays Without the Mayor. And for those of you that don't know what's going on, raise your hand, please, if you don't have any idea what's going on. All right. Very nice. Everybody knows what's going on. We do a Sunday show here at the Mayor, but he's out golfing today, so he decided that he didn't want to come to the show. But we have a riveting show today. You know, I have to go for top shelf guests in order to fill in for the Mayor. But, of course, Kim is with the baby. They like to spend Sundays together. The baby's now 6 months old. Not our baby. I said to her last week, and I said, you know, it's not our baby. She goes, oh, yeah, it's our baby. I said, no, it's not our baby. It's my daughter's. It's our daughter's baby.
You've earned the right to have that baby.
Yes, we certainly have. So she's spending time with the baby, and we have a lot of events going on here on Fort Myers Beach. And Chris King is the chair of the Anchorage Advisory Committee, which is hosting an event here that we've been pushing for the cruisers, and she's here to tell us all about it.
Wow. Yay.
Do it.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me have a few minutes this morning, Ed. And I want to welcome everybody to Cruiser Appreciation Day. It's going on from 12 to 3 today. And this is our opportunity to celebrate and thank and recognize all of the boaters who come to the mooring field throughout the year. But also it's wider than that. It's about celebrating boating, because boating is really a lifeblood of our community. So many people come to Fort Myers Beach for a day, for a week, for a month, and they spend a lot of money at our restaurants.
Yes, they
and
do.
Our shops, and so we want to make sure that they feel welcome. And it's also an opportunity for us to get the community involved. We'll have 19 nonprofit and other community organizations out on Bayside Park with us today. So it's an opportunity to really get involved if you want to learn more about those organizations, talk to them, make connections, and say hi to the boaters. So we're just excited. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
Come on down. We'll have prize drawings, so fabulous prize drawings. And if you're 18 and older, you get one free ticket for the prize drawings. They will happen at 1:30 and 2:30. And I can go through all the prizes if you want me to.
Not really.
Okay.
There's just going to be a lot of nice prizes, good prizes, fun prizes, and the boaters will come off their mooring balls.
Yes.
We want them off their balls
Get off
and
the balls.
on to the Bayside Park event today.
That's right.
And there'll be music at 4 o'clock. The concert will go on at 4 o'clock. So please come down and stay at the park and have a great time.
Yeah, and Ed is going to be kind of our master of ceremonies. He's going to help us interview some of the boaters and interview some of the nonprofits. So really, it's just an opportunity to engage and connect and enjoy and celebrate all that we have to offer here on Fort Myers Beach.
Let's be honest. The only reason I was invited was because I'm the only one that has a speaker, and you need a speaker. So.
Well, you know, otherwise it'd be my husband with a bullhorn. That could also work.
He doesn't need a bullhorn.
Well, sometimes he does.
And then we got to hear his corny sign off at the end of the event. All right, so you start at 12 o'clock and it goes until 3 o'clock today. So you can also, if you're not eating breakfast, you can buy a ticket at Snug Harbor for a lunch. It's $28, and none of that money goes to the meal.
That's just Snug Harbor, yes. So they offered a special deal for us today. So $28 gets you one of 4 or 5 menu choices. It covers your soft drink, it covers your tax and tip. But certainly there are all kinds of wonderful restaurants to take advantage of down here, including the one that we're sitting in, Wahoo Willie's, Nervous Nellie's, SOB, all the good stuff.
I did want to mention that one of the sponsors of today's event is Fly Heli. So you'll get a chance to meet Steve.
He won't be here.
Oh, I thought last meeting you guys all said he might come up.
We had anticipated he might be here, but I don't think so.
Darn.
So
we'll see him some other time.
will
I
see him
actually
some other
invited him to
time.
come on the show, but he said he wasn't going to be here, so that probably explains
why.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
So come and talk to the Coast Guard, talk to the Women's Club, talk to all of our wonderful organizations. Captains for Clean Water will be there. We've got the Chamber of Commerce, the Lions Club, which I'm excited about, Friends of the Library, Friends of the Mound House, all of our regular, wonderful, very active nonprofits. Come and say hey.
Awesome. All right. We'll see you out at Bayside Veterans Park at 12 o'clock. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Big hand for Chris King, everybody, the chair of the Anchorage Advisory Committee. And I'm going to invite Jim over real quick. Jim was the chairperson of the Charter Review Commission, which I don't know if dissolve is the right word, but you held your final meeting last week. And I have to say, you run a damn good meeting, Jim.
Try to start them on time, end them on time, and
Yes.
keep all the distractions out of the conversation.
There's one thing that I thought you guys could have addressed and you decided to punt was the salaries. Like what happens, I probably should explain. I think it's every 10 years.
Statutorily, you have to review your charter every 10 years,
Right.
at least every 10 years, and then make recommendations to council, which then is the final vote on whether or not it goes to referendums or they do ordinances or resolutions, whatever it happens to be. I do it every 10 years. Yeah.
Right. And the way this works is they make recommendations and the attorney puts it together and it's got to be written in like, I don't know, 50 words or less or something. It's got to be precise. And then the council could decide whether or not to put it on a referendum or not. The council could say, thank you very much. We don't like any of your considerations and we're just going to move on the way with the charter the way it is. And you came up with a few things that were kind of, I think, kind of pretty minor, right? I mean, or do you think they weren't?
We didn't punt on the compensation issue.
Well, you came up, I think part of the job was whether or not you should recommend whether the council members get a salary increase, and you decided to put together a commission.
Well, best practices are, and keeping an arm's length from the political process, is to have people that are both qualified in that area, that are appointed through a public process, both interviews, et cetera, and they serve for a single purpose, and that is to look at what the value of those jobs are in the open market, other like-kind communities for our kind of a government setup, obviously weak mayor, strong manager, and then make recommendations to council. We put some guardrails in there, as you've seen from the document, that the group that appoints those individuals will be after an election for council. So nobody's going to run on whether or not they're going to appoint those people. And then even if it's approved to make the salary increases that this group recommends, those don't go into effect until there's another election. And then the council's not involved with that. The people that get seated get that. So we thought it separated the political process, looked at the financial process independent by qualified people, let one council make the recommendations. And if they get reelected, they can get the raise. But if they don't, the ones that get elected get the raise or whatever it happens to be. So I think it's a compromise. It's a good balance, and we'll see what the council thinks.
So they get paid like $19,000 a year now, right?
They do.
And the mayor gets 16.
And there's a COLA increase that's built in there.
So, I mean, just shooting the breeze here, you and I and us three kids here, what do you think the council members should be paid?
Well, some of it, and we published this, so it's public information, from $25,000 to $35,000 is a pretty basic salary. Plus, they get health care benefits here as part of the town. So that's got a 20 to 30% real economic value to it on top of it. That's the range when we did the peer group and when the HR people at the town took a look at that too. So recommendations are going to be somewhere in that category should they choose to approve this commission.
All right. And did you make any other recommendations that will come before them that they can vote on that are substantive, or is it minor tweaks?
There's going to be 5 as the letter that's online people can see for recommendations for referendum. Again, council decide on, I'm going to present on April 20th, those recommendations. One of them is to beef up the transparency and the ethics, to build that into the charter, to make sure anything that's passed by the town has that same level of rigor. We do have policies and procedures to do that, but one of the members of the council thought it was important that we put that transparency and no illegal gifts and all that right in the charter. We also changed the appointed terms of a new council member that get appointed. We just went through that, had a good long debate on that. Going forward, if it's approved and approved by the residents, if you're appointed to a position, you will fill out the term of the individual you're appointed to. So that's a change because the dynamics around what seat you're running for, how much is left there, you know what we went through this time. So we're going to clean that up. Took out the canvassing board. We don't do anymore. Talked about the compensation issue. And then there's also some modifications in there on what happens if a mayor gets disabled, what the vice mayor does and how you replace that. That was not very clear. The rest of them are some Scribner errors to policies that they can do. But I will say this, Ed, since we did this impromptu this morning, we started with a very good document.
Yeah.
It was well done. The founding fathers and the council since then, the commission since then, have really done a nice job of challenging how well it works for us. So we tried not to meddle. We didn't over detail. Council should be making the decisions for our town. They're the elected officials, but we cleaned up some things that we thought were confusing and would add benefit.
All right. And so now, other than your presentation to the council, the commission is pretty much dissolved, correct?
They will dissolve us if they accept that we've done our job. They have the power to do that. They could extend us or send back, and we can go through that process. I don't think it'll happen because everything's been so transparent, but also there's some really serious deadlines. You have to get some stuff done to get it on the ballot for November.
All right. Anything else you want to share?
That'll do it, buddy.
All right. Big hand for Jim.
Thank you, Ed.
He's also, I'm going to let him go before I say this, but he's also an LPA member, and it's going to be a very busy week here on Fort Myers Beach. By the way, if you're in the audience, we are giving away coffee mugs for free. If you would like to scrub our logo off, I have a big black Sharpie. You can do that too. So you just have a yellow coffee mug at home. But we do have coffee mugs to give away. And I did want to update you. I have been promoting that we were going to have Ed Schoonover on before Greg came on, but we have changed that agenda for today. And we had a little chat yesterday. And Ed's first meeting on the LPA, let me explain this first. Ed, we've been friends with the Schoonovers for a long time, and they've come to our house. We've been to their house. Kim's gone to Africa with Janelle, so you know, we're very friendly with each other. And Ed's first LPA meeting is Tuesday, and as you all know, the first LPA agenda will involve the biggest project that you're ever going to see on Fort Myers Beach. I think it is. I think it's, well, Greg will clarify it if I'm wrong, but I think it's bigger than Red Coconut. But I mean, still, it's a huge project, and he's just getting his feet wet. And I don't want to ask him a question that gets him in trouble. I don't think he would say anything wrong, but I don't want to put him in a position during his first meeting where he's got to deal with something that he didn't say or should have said, or even the tone of an answer that he gives can get him in trouble with the attorneys. And so I just don't want to do that. I'm not saying he would say anything wrong, but it is his first meeting. So I think one of the funny things he did say yesterday when we were meeting was he's read the comprehensive plan and the LDC 3 times in the last 48 hours. And if you want to talk about falling asleep, holy crap, break out those documents. But I mean that for any municipality. So Ed's not going to come on. He is here if you want to chat with him, though. But we are going to have Greg on for the rest of the show. So Greg Scasny, come on down. Greg is not on any boards like that. He is on the library board, but that yes, well, you can sit wherever you want. Grab microphone number 2, and Greg has a certain opinion about development on the island, and our conversations about development are always lively and informational and somewhat educational on my part. But what I wanted to say was, first I wanted to ask you, how's your house doing? Your house was ruined by Hurricane Ian, and
yes,
you ran into the man with the plan who
the man with the plan to try to ruin my life.
Yeah, and so you're still almost 4 years later, still not in your house, but you're getting close.
We just got drywall in, so that's done. We're having tile put in coming up here soon. They get the wood floors in, then cabinets and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're past the big hurdles of all the stuff that the man with the plan screwed me on.
Yeah.
And you know, I know I'm gonna put a plug. I know I shouldn't, but Cole Stinson from Vessel Crass Homes and Mike Stewart both kind of stepped up for me and made things right and got my house to a point where I can continue to build it.
I've said it awesome. A million times. The first person you need to call is Michael Stewart. And yes, he's not going to be the cheapest person on the planet, but your house is not going to fall down.
So listen, there's cheap, and then there's, you know, putting bad money, good money after bad. That's really not, you know, what happened with, you know, what Mike was able to come in and do was phenomenal. I mean, the town wanted to tear down my house. I had a notice that they were going to tear down my house. He come in. It wasn't cheap, but I mean, he has expertise that got that not to happen.
Yeah,
and got me to move forward, and that was a big sigh.
And everybody knows Cole. Cole is a local guy, grew up on Fort Myers Beach, and he's taken over the women's club build from Seagate, and he's gonna help with that project. So both having Michael Stewart and Cole on your team to build a house. Do you have any idea when you're going to be in?
That's a horrible question, because every time I say it, it blows past that.
Oh, really?
So, I'll get in when I get in. Hopefully before school starts next year, it'd be great.
Yeah. And so, are you guys still living in a trailer? Or are you in
No,
somebody's house?
I rent a house 4 doors down from where my house is.
Yeah.
I've lived on like 6 houses on my street.
Yeah.
Since the last 3 years.
You live on Andre Mar, which
Andre
was
Mar, yes.
filled with police activity the other day. What's
yeah,
going
we
on?
had someone in a rental had a
Domestic.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, something else too.
Yeah,
crazy down here. So
yeah.
so
Getting our tax money worth on our street.
You're on the library board.
Yes.
Why didn't you apply for the LPAC?
So it's kind of a personal thing with me. Like I have very limited time, and in my view, like council doesn't always listen to the LPA or hasn't on things of great importance. And I'm not saying that what they do is statutorily has to be there, but it's a lot of time for not being listened to. I tend to do things with a little more consequence. So like when I ran for council, like I have a vote, right? So I have a say, and that's kind of how I do things.
So I was surprised that nothing against Ed, but only one person applied for such an important. I think it's an important.
It's a lot of work, and it's literally a thankless job, right? It's a pure volunteer position. You have to take a lot of flack. I mean, I congratulated Mr. Schoonover, Ed. He's a friend of mine too. When he took the position, I'm glad he did. Anybody who steps up to serve that's awesome, and I'm thankful for it. Ed's a good guy. I mean, I think he'll make good decisions. I mean, we have differences of opinion, but it doesn't mean that we actually disagree on where the town needs to go. It's just a little difference of opinion.
Yeah, and so Tuesday's agenda will have London Bay on it, and if you've looked at the agenda, it's got like 8 different agenda items, all for the same project. And I don't want to start with that, because I wanted to get your opinion. Did you see the new Diamond Head proposal?
Of course.
They have 2. They're planning to add 2. In case you didn't see it, they're planning to add 2 buildings. One will be on the beach side with, I think, 23 units, and one is going to be an attachment to their current building with 50. The total is 57. So how are that? I'm good with math, but
it's Sunday. There should be no math.
Yeah, no math today. And so anyway, they're looking at 2 buildings. And the interesting thing about Diamond Head is that they got approval for a certain number of units by the county. So they by right, they believe they are due certain number of units because Lee County granted them a development order. And of course, everybody knows what happened as a result of Diamond Head. That's why the town was incorporated. But they've also been the best partner with this town for the last almost 3 years.
That's fine, but that has nothing to do with what.
Can I finish, please? I know where you're going, but right. So they have built up goodwill, but the town, I mean, I guess you could say the same for the Wyndham. The Wyndham feels like they have built up goodwill because you're allowed to park all those vehicles there, and they're not getting their food trucks out there. So, so that proposal that was like the beginning stages for Diamond Head, those 2 extra towers, and of course they have Surf Song, which is right next door, and they are going to. Some of them are going to lose their view, which I don't know if that really is. I don't know if how that plays into the approval. You're not really ever guaranteed a view when you buy a house. I don't think, unless you make a deal with Diamond Head that you're never going to block their view. But anyway, so what did you think of the Diamond Head proposals?
Well, obviously, I don't think it's great. I understand the goodwill that they put towards the community, but listen, we all put goodwill towards the community. Like after the storm, listen, I pay my taxes on time. I've kept my lot clean. Should the town give me now 7 stories on top of my house so I can help recoup that cost of what it cost me to build my house? They're not going to do that. They're not going to give me things just because, I feel like I've been a good steward of the town, right? Again, I think they were great to the town, let us hold meetings there as they should. But that doesn't entitle them to ignore what our rules and regulations are and build on the anniversary when we incorporated, the reason why we incorporated, I don't blame them for asking. I mean, everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon after what has happened and what's progressed. If London Bay goes through, it's going to be even worse. I guarantee it.
So Diamond Head, part of the pitch I think will be is that we're only at 75-ish, 78-ish% of the hotel rooms, and they have a better chance of building than all these other projects that the town has approved going on years now.
We've already approved a bunch.
I
don't see any shovels in the ground.
I know. Where are the shovels?
I don't see any shovels in the ground.
That's the interesting thing is nobody's building anything.
I don't see anything down there by Pink Shell happening.
But so so Diamond Head, what do you think will happen? I mean, do you plan to organize against it?
I haven't even seen what their all they've seen is the pictures on your site. So they haven't have a packet together. They
Right.
haven't going from the LPA.
Oh, stop
So I don't
talking
know,
like a politician, bro.
But again, details matter, right? So
You've
details
seen how
matter.
tall they are. People
Again,
that
and
alert.
I'm blatantly against that kind of height.
All right,
100%.
so do you think that there would be enough opposition to
Absolutely.
Really?
To Diamond Head, absolutely.
Why?
I mean, just take the temperature of the voters, right? I mean, it's very easy to do. People want us to have responsible human scale development. That's not it. That's Clearwater development. That's Miami Beach development.
But they have not. There would not be going over the height that they got approved.
It doesn't. But that's not our rules.
Yeah.
Our rules are you get 30 feet or 3 above flood, or 4 in some cases, depending on where you're at. That's our rules. That's what we have here. If we don't like those rules, go through the correct. And I've said this 100,000 times. If you don't like those rules, go through the proper process to change the comprehensive plan.
Well,
and do it that way.
The other
right.
The
I
other
know
way
they come in and ask, and I get all that bullshit.
But they are also, they can ask for a rezone, or they can ask for the CPD or whatever the back door is that the town allows them to do it, and see
I think
what happens.
and again, I think we've
Which
made
is what they
mistakes,
will
and they
do.
should say no.
Yeah.
The town should say no to those.
How
things,
so? In your opinion, at Diamond Head, how high can they go? How high would you?
They can go 3 above flood.
That's it. That's
three
your
above
thing.
flood.
Is
That's-
3 above flood.
Well, not all. Again, if with proper benefit, but our town absolutely 100% and unequivocally refuses to define what public benefit and what you get for that. And I understand the reasoning behind that, but until you do that, you're going to always have this very nebulous, oh, I'm going to give you a view corridor or a linear park, which is literally a stinking sidewalk. I mean, they use these terms that they've come up with to try to define public benefit, like, okay, I have to build this resilient. Well, you have to do that by code anyways, right? So they use these terms to try to define very nebulous public benefit for an extreme ask. So again, asking for whatever it is, they're going to put there 10 stories, 12 stories, or put it. That's an extreme ask. There should be extreme benefit if we were going to consider that, and it's not. We didn't get it. We haven't got it with a single project yet.
Yeah.
We're not negotiating like real negotiators. We're handing entitlements over for basically nothing in return, and that's horrible for the residents. It's horrible for the taxpayers, and it's horrible for the voters.
Yeah. So, are you going to run for council?
No comment.
It's a yes or no.
Then I'm not going to say yes or no, or I'm not putting.
So you're
anything out
not
there.
saying no. So you're.
just
I
not-
thought you
I
didn't
just
have
said I'm
enough
not
time for the
commenting on it, that's
LPA.
all.
Well, if you're not going to run, does your wife want you to run or not?
I haven't even asked her.
Oh,
I mean, my wife would.
Greg, you're such
my
a liar,
wife,
bro.
My wife would support. If I said I wanted
Yeah.
to run, she would support me.
Why-
So it's my decision. I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, I can. My wife's awesome, but she supports me.
If
whenever I
you
wanna
ran,
do.
do you think you could win?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why?
Because I've done the work. People know where I stand. I mean, it's not rocket science of where I stand on development and what I think is best for the island and what I think will get our island back on track much quicker, right? So when people are clamoring to have things done, and I understand that. I understand people are sick of looking at the fences and sick of looking at. There's ways to deal with that, right? So I don't know. Again, our town is low on manpower, but they should be enforcing the rules we have on people to clean up their lots. Why do we have lots sitting here that are unkempt? You couldn't do that before the storm. I mean, I don't keep my lot unkempt. We have tons of lots that have been sitting there, have nothing done on them. They look like crap. We have rules to enforce it to
I'm not disagreeing with you on that aspect of it. I mean,
but what people think is like if we approve these very large scale developments, then we're going to start seeing things happen, and that's not how it works. What you will see if you approve smaller human scale development, it's easier to get financed. It's easier to put shovels in the ground, and you will see progress much quicker. You'll see tax returns. You'll see the benefit of taxes much quicker than when you're dealing with projects like London Bay, who we're going to want to sell 50% of their condos, whatever it is. I don't know what their thing is before they get started. Just like what Seagate was going to do, or even what the Pink Shell wanted to do. We're not going to tell you when we'll build. We'll build when it's economically feasible for us. Why would we approve things like that? Approve things that are smaller, human scale, and that will get the island back quicker and get things looking better and make people happy. I get it, but there's no reason to rush. We don't need to be in a hurry. People want to see things happen, but they're being short-sighted.
Can I ask a few questions, man? You sound like you're running for office here. I mean, what's going on?
You asked me on. You know that I've never been
Yeah.
accused of not being verbose.
No. So, are you happy with the current makeup of the town council? And do you think the people that you talk to in the recall group there are happy with the current makeup of the town council?
I want to be very
Be
nice.
honest.
I want to be nice about this because I think they made a mistake appointing John McClain. I do. That's
Why?
how I feel about it. Because John, and again, this is nothing. John is a nice guy. I talked to John. He's offered to meet with me. We come from a similar IT background. So this is not anything against John. He is 100% opposite of what the voters on this island want. He would never win an election. And
you mean the recall voters? That's who you're talking about.
Okay, so you can, if you want to go down that road, I have math to show you how many voters it actually is, and it's a lot.
There was a recall that was successful, so there are recall
voters. It was a lot,
voters.
but there is a lot. It was a majority of the people that voted.
Well, you can't say that he's not going to win the election because you have no idea.
I'll bet you. I could do a nickel bet with you if he runs. I'll bet you a beer, whatever you want.
Betting on an election. I'm just saying you don't know for sure. You're trying to influence the voters by saying that.
No, I think I understand how the people who vote on this island they want.
If Ray Murphy ran, do you think he'd win?
That's a good question. He would have a good chance, I think. I mean, I think that I don't know. It's hard to say. There's still a lot of animosity with what happened with the storm. So
I think I can answer that. I think if the storm went a little smoother, he would win in a landslide. He's got a huge following, but he just dropped the football.
Well, just like if you ask, would Anita win
in a landslide? I mean, it's not the same thing, though.
No, but their views are similar.
Okay, 100%. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say 100%.
Well, again,
but
similar.
they are close.
I'd say similar, right? So, again, I tell you what.
So get back to John McClain. Finish up that thought.
I learned a lot from both of those. I talked to Ray. I've talked to Anita a bunch, and they're a wealth of knowledge. They're
yes, Anita certainly is. You're right.
About the history of the town, I'm telling you.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you have a hard on for him, but it's okay.
No, I just felt like he dropped the football during the storm, and he tried to screw us in a big way. But I'm not trying to make it personal here.
I know, I get it. But back to John again. I like John. I just think they made a mistake.
Why did they make a mistake?
Because again, look at John's voting record on the LPA.
Yeah, but John. So what you're saying is they shouldn't have appointed John McClain to the town council because of how we voted on
I think
Seagate.
That you should appoint someone to town council that the voters want, that you're responsible as an elected official, as a representative to make decisions that of the people you represent. Well, and again, I don't think, I think I like
John has been a great representative on the LPA, and he thinks through all the projects. And what you're saying is you want that town council to follow along exactly what happened with the recall. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is I want representatives that represent the voters.
That's John, I don't want to get stuck on John McClain. I didn't think it was going to come up, but he has worked his ass off on the LPA.
No doubt.
That dude sat in the every single town council meeting after the storm because he wanted to get involved. Because
I'm not assassinating his character. I told you, I think John's a great guy. I didn't say he's not smart.
You don't even, but you haven't even given him a chance to vote on any.
But I know his voting record. But he has proven his voting record. It's a proven voting record. Like if people don't know I've never voted on anything in town council, right? So but I'm very open about where I stand. John's record's kind of it speaks for itself.
Okay, so how would you have voted on Moss Marina?
I would not have voted for Moss
Okay,
Marina.
Anita voted yes.
I get it. Yep.
So Anita shouldn't be on the LPA according to what you're saying, Greg.
No,
be consistent.
You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say she shouldn't be. I didn't say John shouldn't have been on the LPA. I said John shouldn't have been appointed to council.
Okay, so all right. So if Anita runs for town council, would you vote for her?
Yes.
She voted yes on Moss Marine. How is she voting? How is she?
Did she vote yes on Seagate?
Oh, so we're sticking to one project.
No, I'm just asking. Did she vote yes on Seagate?
But okay, so
did she vote yes on Pink Shell?
I don't remember.
Okay, so again,
did she vote yes on Pink Shell?
No. So if you want to go on specific one project, No, I'm saying as a whole. I'm saying John's record as a whole of what he has voted for. Again, every single development that's come before, he has voted yes on, and that's not up for debate. That's fact.
I don't know every single vote that John, but I think John. So John has a certain view of things that doesn't jive with your view.
Well, I don't think it jives with the voters' view.
Okay,
that's what I'm getting
at. You're not speaking for all the voters.
I'm not. I'm speaking for me, and I'm speaking on what I feel the voters would want. And
all
again,
fair enough.
If he's going to run, it'll all be shaken out in a few months.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see. So we know Rebecca's going to run. I think Tom's going to run. Tom's announced that he's going to run, and John has announced. I think John's. Yeah, all three have announced they're
I
going
think
to
he
run.
said he'd run. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, have you heard anybody else is going to run other than you?
I didn't say I was going to run, but I haven't heard anybody else know.
Come on, Greg.
I've been kind of busy.
You're going to run. Your house will be done. You'll be in your house, and you'll have time. And you want to run. You want to run.
I do want to run.
Yes, because
I have
you
a very
missed it by a
demanding
nose
I have
hair.
A very demanding day job.
If you ran against Scott these days, if it was 1-on-1 against Scott, would you win or lose that?
I don't know. I'm not saying Scott's done a bad job. I mean, I think he's been
receptive
on
Seagate. So. Do you believe Scott really voted the way he was going to vote the day before? Be honest.
Yeah, he voted. But he voted the way he voted. So no matter what I conjecture, it doesn't matter. He voted the way he voted.
I
right?
see.
So,
you're not going to. I see. You're going to hold back some information today, which is not really something.
I'm not holding back.
I'm used to having you do. So let's talk about Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be like a monster event on this island. If you thought Seagate caused some controversy, wait until Tuesday rolls in. And by the way, Monday we're having an interview with Mark Wilson, who is the CEO of London Bay. They asked us for the interview, which I was surprised by. So, I mean, it still hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen at 3:00 on Monday. And I have a lot of interesting questions to ask Mark, because I didn't read the entire agenda. I mean, I can't read a 7,000 page agenda.
Stop there. I can't read, period.
I can't read something that when you get into the nitty gritty of some of the wording and terminology in these agendas, it gives you a headache.
I read it this morning and breezed over it last night.
So
There's
to me,
a lot.
If you boil it down to what they're asking for a 4 FAR. That's the way I think I read it.
They calculated it at 3, I think.
Now, just so you all know, the island-wide FAR, floor area ratio, and I don't even know what the F that means, to be honest with you. All I know is you're only allowed a 2.5 floor area ratio throughout the entire island. That's the max. That's the max.
So
unless you ask for more.
That's what council and the LPA have taken roll call votes on, unanimously said that we do not want to go past the 2.5 FAR. That doesn't mean that they're allowed a 1.5 FAR by right, according to the comprehensive plan.
But you can ask for a 12 FAR if you want.
But if you look at what they're doing, and I took some notes.
Now wait a second before you read your notes.
I'm not going to read notes. This is just
if you want to realize, if you want to understand what the FAR is, go on YouTube and Google Anita's name, because she does this thing with this Anita, right? She does this thing with the box inside the box, and that's the FAR. And she turns the boxes this way and that way, and I still don't understand it, but that's just me.
Simply, it is the current area of all the floors you have divided by the area of your lot. So if you're allowed to build,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. I know this would be no math, but it's area, length, time, width, time, height, right?
Yeah.
So the area of that box that you're allowed to build divided by your lot size is your floor area ratio, right? And that comes out to a number. It's a ratio. It's a ratio of how big a structure you're allowed to build to the land that you have. Now, if you read what they're trying to do, they're trying to make up their own rules.
Their own land development code for the most part.
Well, they want to amend our comprehensive plan to put in a special zone. It may not be a zone. It's called a FLU, just for they call it the outrigger property, that manipulates that calculation to get it down to a 3 FAR.
And if 3 FAR is still too high,
it is so let's just look at it this way. So everybody knows how big Myerside is, how big that lot is, and what they got there. It's basically 2 Myersides, right? That's how big of an area they have to build on. They want to build structures that are massive.
I mean, the thing that it started out at 17, and I think everybody realized nobody ever wants to use the word 17 on the island because it just gives them a agita. And so they dropped it down to 15. And I went into down into the agenda packet, and I grabbed a picture and I put it up there so people could see it from the bird's eye view. And it still said 17 on it. And I went back to London Bay. I said, you have the wrong picture in the agenda. It still says 17, and they have a certain number.
15.
All right,
What's the freaking difference?
See,
I mean, to be brutally honest, you're just playing games.
Here's the thing that's more interesting to me, maybe nobody else. The thing that's more interesting to me about London Bay is you have a contingent of people on the south end that are in favor of a tiki bar on the beach.
So did you see their tiki bar?
Yes, I did. It's a tiny thing, but it's the same size as the old Tiki
It's
Bar.
an 800 square foot building built
Right.
past the CCCL if they'll ever be able to build that.
Right. So my point is, there's people on the South End that say there are taller buildings on the South End, so these taller buildings will fit in. I don't know if the Gulf Side 12 people feel that way because they're going to tower over their brand new, smaller, lower buildings. But they want this Tiki Bar, and they're willing to give up the shop on whatever these bigger buildings are, and they're in favor of it. What we didn't have at Seagate was people that were opposed to it at the right time, and then it was too late. It's my opinion, doesn't mean anything. Now it seems like you have people in favor of it. The only thing you don't know is, are they going to speak out about it? That's what we don't know yet.
Well,
because
I don't know how.
I think the council and the LPA
short-sighted
respond.
you have to be.
I'm not
Not
short-sighted.
you. I'm saying in general.
Well, I
are.
generally
That's okay. To say that we're going to just give up whatever this developer wants for an 800 square foot Tiki Bar. That you're not going to see for 10 years, maybe 10 years.
Right. Will they build a Tiki Bar first?
Who knows? But how are you gonna get to a Tiki Bar under construction zone where you're building?
Yeah,
it's not feasible.
I don't know how.
I understand people on the South End want a place to go. I get it. This is the wrong way to get it. There are better ways to do it. I mean, this may be a little unpopular. I mean, they shot down the idea of the Burt's Bar thing temporary.
At the window.
I don't know why that was such a. I get like the process they wanted to use was strange, the events permit, but that's something the town should
recurring
really look into.
special events permit.
And that was odd. I get it. And
no, I think the answer is because the town is trying to get away from trailers, and they didn't put in their application early enough.
Understood, but I think there are ways to work with the town to get something like that. To again, the people on the South End, I totally understand.
No, so do I. But you can't.
And there are tasteful ways to do that. I mean, go to Sugar Shack downtown, and I love that place in Bonita.
The town is trying to get away from the food trucks. I mean, look at Times Square. It's still such an eyesore to go down there, and it's just nasty down there. And the town is trying to.
But, boy, there's a ton of people down there.
I know that's the sad part about it. You don't even clean it up, and there's a ton of people down there.
We have a beauty. Have you seen the water here? It looks like the freaking Florida Keys.
Somebody said that to me today. The water looks
this
great.
place is packed. People want to come here. They want to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Everything else is just.
So let's get back to what were we talking about?
London Bay.
London Bay. So you got a question? Yeah, come on up. Yeah. Jamie Hotka.
This is my neighbor.
Sit back
One
a
of my
little,
neighbors.
Greg. Sit back. Move over toward me.
Up, brother.
You guys going to move over a little bit, Greg. You got to move over a little bit so we get them on. Hold on a second, Jamie.
I'm going to touch you.
You got to move over a little, Jamie.
Come this way, brother.
Bring the camera over. Yeah, a little bit. All right, Jamie, you had something that you wanted to say. Please join in the conversation.
Yeah. As a resident of the island, full-time resident, and
a little bit more.
A developer, we are building a food truck lot.
Right.
We are building a $4 million building that has 5 food trucks on it.
So do you think it's going to be tastefully done?
Oh, there'll be a video out in the next few weeks of this project. This project is definitely for the island. The ROI is bad. I don't even know that we'll make money on it, spending that kind of money. And I feel like there's got to be a balance somewhere between the investor making money because he can't get loans if he doesn't, and the size of the project. And as I said, I don't know what that is. You can't just say 3 stories because the cost to build now is so expensive.
But what I'll tell you is that, and I
dollars
totally understand that, but that's a business decision you as a developer have to make, right? So if it doesn't make sense for you to build it, don't build it. The town is not responsible for you making money or making a poor investment.
I don't see any buildings going up, and the reason why they can't get loans because they don't have the ROI that needs to have.
Well, then they maybe made a bad decision when they purchased their lot, right?
Well,
so no one told them to buy their lot for $30 million, right?
Well, I'm talking about people that own lots.
Right, but you rebuilt your house, right? I'm rebuilding my house. Like, so the smaller things you can get done, right? Again, and it's not cheap, but the ROI on my house is not negative, right? The ROI on your house is not going to be negative.
It's not an ROI.
But well, again, if I wanted to sell my house, right? But if you wanted to sell your house, I don't think you would lose money on selling your house.
Probably not.
Me either. But what I'm saying is that it's not up to the town council. It's not up to the voters. It's not up to the town to make business decisions on what someone has bought their lot for or how they're going to make money. What the town needs to do is enforce its rules and make sure that we have a level playing field for everybody. We're not in the investment business. The people who buy the lots and develop them, they're in the investment business. They took a risk. saying that I'm going to buy this property at a very high price because I feel I can get the entitlements that are necessary. That's not for me as a resident or a voter to give them that. It's up to them to make it work. If they can't make it work, then I'm sorry, you made a bad investment, and it's not for the town to bail them out. The town's not going to come and bail me out of my house because I'm trying to rebuild it.
Okay, I heard what you're saying, but listen for a minute. Majority of the people that have lots didn't buy them for an investment. They lost everything on it. Now, the town doesn't have a responsibility for them to make money. I agree. But if they can't build something and make money on it, they will never build anything. So that's where they're at. You're in a contrary, or you're in a problem, because as many things have been approved, the Whale is the only one I know that's been done. But Mike,
Beach Bar.
Well, okay, but they are more for the island. They're willing to take an extremely low or no ROI in order to get the project built because they care. And I feel the same way. I'm willing to make an investment, even though it's a dumb investment, because I want to see things on this island. And not everybody's going to do that.
Well, this island needs more dummies like you, real fast.
Need more dummies like me. And I feel that you're saying, well, don't make the investment, but they're not going to. You're going to have vacant lots forever unless the cost of building goes down or the price of inflation goes up.
So I'll disagree that we won't have it forever. It won't.
Well, forever's a long word.
They're not making any more barrier islands. And listen, we have another model we can look at right across the way. You can look at Sanibel. You cannot get a deviation in Sanibel. You're never going to build a large structure on Sanibel, and there's no shortage of businesses going to Sanibel. Now, are they a little slower than us? Is it different? Absolutely. But to say that no one's going to ever invest here, 100% disagree with you. They aren't making any more barrier islands. Again, people are going to want to take advantage of that. This is a residential island. If we don't want it to be a residential island, that's fine. We don't need a town government. We can go back to the county and they can overbuild this, and this will 100% look like Clearwater Beach, because that will get the most ROI.
Well, it's not 100% a residential island.
Well, it is. We have a town. Our town is
every
here
town has a
before
town,
residents.
Greg.
Well, they don't have to.
It's also a tourist destination.
That's not
what you want it to be.
No, I'm okay with it, but I'm not willing to forgo rights of the residents for the rights of tourists.
Fair enough.
I'll agree with that. I don't want their rights to be violated, and I know there are certain laws the town has to follow, but they still have to give some consideration to that.
And I think
I'm going to go back just before Ian. I wanted to put a garage and a pool on at the house I bought on the beach. The first word out of their mouth when I called is, well, we'll let you put a garage and a pool in, but it's not going to be the one you want. What do you mean? You haven't even seen what I want. How can you say that?
That was Roger. Roger was still in charge, right?
Well, I'm not mentioning names. I'm not a political type of person. I just know that I thought, wow, that's really anti-build everything. And I feel like the council, although I don't agree with Seagate, I think it's too big, but I feel that the council is more pro-build and they're trying to help people build. I don't think they're stretching the law. I'm not sure that Seagate wasn't legal, but I don't agree with it. I loved the little cottages. I loved all the vibe of the island before, but I don't think we're going to see that again.
Jamie, as a resident and a business owner on Fort Myers Beach, are you okay or not okay with Diamond Head, with their new plans?
I've seen them, and I don't know that I'm intelligent enough to speak about it. I don't want huge buildings on the island. I don't, especially there. Now, maybe on the south side, I'm going to say I don't understand the south side. I'm not a south side resident. There's a lot of tall buildings down there.
They're very weird on the south side.
Right in the main town section, I don't think I want any more large buildings.
So did you see have you seen the London Bay buildings? You okay with the London Bay buildings?
Once again,
why are you on the show if you're not going to answer? Come on.
Once
answer
again,
the question.
On the south side, I don't live on the south side. There's a lot of tall buildings down there that perhaps there could be a size that would work down there.
What's the right height of a building on the south side?
Wow. There's a lot of tall buildings down there.
Yeah.
But you realize again,
but it's not my backyard. I'm going to that because people did that to me. It's not my backyard, so I'm not as concerned down there.
We have a provision inside the comprehensive plan to allow you to build tall buildings on the south end. And it says if you're surrounded meaning next door to tall buildings, it would be unfair to allow you not to build a tall building there because there's tall buildings right next door to you, but that's not the London Bay property. Next door to London Bay property are single family residents and another low story building. So they're going to build something. And even, I mean, I can just tell you what the town staff said about it. It says
they recommended, they didn't recommend denial, but they're not in favor.
No, but yeah,
I think there were like 28 conditions if they decided to approve. It was a lot of conditions, which we'll ask Mark about tomorrow.
It says the proposed maximum height is taller than the neighborhood. The adjacent properties contain buildings with much lower heights, and these buildings will feel very large in comparison.
Yeah,
that's and it says it's not. It's again the only way that London Bay can be consistent with the comprehensive plan is if they allow them to change the comprehensive plan for a very specific use for them, which is if they allow them to do this and again, if I was a business owner, every single business owner who wants to build high will come back and ask for the same exact thing. It is a waterfall. It is a Pandora's box you don't want to open.
So here's another thing. So Margaritaville's trying to rebuild. I think they're on the next LPA for Silver Sands. Everybody loves Silver Sands. So they're going to try and put something in there. And the Margaritaville people see all these big giant buildings come in. Why shouldn't he just pull his 4 stories out and start with 18 or some crazy amount right next door? Like, I mean, it just seems like he's trying to fit within the rules. And some of these buildings are.
I'll just and you know Tom like I do. I think Tom cares about the island. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I know he
100%.
does.
Yeah.
The things that Margaritaville does for our community has done for and I have a kid on the island, and so I'm very much about kids. I know he wanted to build something for kids prior to the storm that was really cool. Like I know.
What was that? What was the original
really
idea?
Cool.
It was like an arcade or something, wasn't it?
We were going to build a family entertainment center right there at this lot, and the town didn't like it. It was a large building with several restaurants and all kinds of fun things for kids.
Yeah. So, Jamie, before we let you go, when are we going to see a shovel in the ground for your food truck park?
Mid-June.
Nice. So, yeah, and that will be finished by next season.
Hopefully by the end of the year or
January
very cool. Next season.
Yeah.
We plan June 8th to be a groundbreaking.
And his mom's going to be part of your.
She wants to be part. We've both signed a commitment letter subject to terms. She wants to be part of it.
Dude, she's got to be there.
I agree. We love moms.
Yeah.
Hopefully, she's got her way of doing business and we have ours.
Yeah, she's a little bit crazy, but we love her.
I don't know about her crazy. I love her. She's a definite asset to any location.
Yeah. Yeah, but she'd be a big draw, man. Yeah, she'd be a huge draw. You see the lines outside her food truck every day?
I agree, but the first year or so, we're not going to need that big draw, but we will after that.
All right,
there's so much demand for food right now on this island that the first year is going to be crazy for us.
That'd be great.
And we're not in that business. We're going to learn very quickly.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you all
how not to do it.
All right. Thank you, Jamie, for coming over. Appreciate it. I did want to invite Kevin up. Kevin Sullivan is now the president of an HOA, and I thought the governor was going to dissolve all the HOAs in this state, but he took on a new job as president of the HOA of Bay Beach, right, Kevin? Kevin, you're also anti-development, just like Greg is.
No, I'm not anti-development at all. In fact, we've had some wonderful development on the island, and all you have to do is drive down the street and see it. I think our county appraiser would tell you that our tax rolls are at much higher levels than they were pre-Hurricane Ian. So I think we have a comprehensive plan for the town. We have a local development code. I think we should have a town council that honors those two things or do the work to change the comp plan and the local development code.
Land development code. But yeah, so let me ask you this. Do you think the town council is in the right place with 5 members now?
I don't understand your question.
Have you been drinking?
I have.
Okay. Do you like the 5 members?
Don't pick on Kevin.
Do you like the 5 members that we have on the town council now? Are they voting for the residents that live on the island? Yes or no? It's only an hour show.
I think we're going to have a changed town council with the next vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not what I asked you though. The current 5 members.
I have been to quite a number of town council meetings, spoke about projects, and the town council has voted the opposite
Okay,
in
so
the
your answer
opposite
is no.
manner. So
Okay,
I'd say
so
no.
you guys you were part of you voted for the recall. You wanted John and Karen to be recalled. Yes, both of you voted yes for the recall. Yes,
I voted in the recall.
Yeah. Did you vote?
I voted in the recall.
Yeah, and you voted them out, right? You voted in the yes column to vote them
I
out.
actually did not vote in the recall.
Really? Well, you're not eligible to vote, or do
I
you have
am eligible to vote.
Are you an illegal alien? And first,
I think I was out of town,
okay,
quite frankly.
but you would have voted them out, right?
I think they didn't listen to the constituents of the
So
town.
is that a yes?
I would have voted them out.
Okay. So do you guys also know you didn't need evidence, you didn't need to provide evidence, and that you all claimed that that there were some violations of the
It's a
Sunshine Law.
sloppy process.
Right.
It's a very sloppy process.
And I agree.
Lee County copped out when they drew up the process.
Lee County didn't draw up the process. The state did, but
well,
anyway.
the state, yeah.
So let me ask you this. So you played within the rules, right? And you got them recalled. But John also played within the rules, and he was able to keep his seat. Is that okay with you guys?
It is what it is. I mean,
is that okay?
Again, it is what it is. It's.
But are you
it's within
part of the
rule.
group that says he should resign because the voters voted him out?
That's on him. Not on me.
I thought I was going to get answers today, Greg, but you're playing like you're running for office.
No,
okay,
but
whatever.
Let's just be honest about it. I mean, I have nothing against either of those two. I adamantly disagree with the way they voted. I adamantly disagree that they're serving the people that voted them into office. I disagree with it. I disagree with most of what they did. Doesn't mean that I dislike them. I serve on a board with John's wife. John's wife is lovely.
Do you think they violated the Sunshine Law?
I don't care. That's not what's on the ballot.
But
that's not what's on the ballot.
But you put on the recall.
I didn't put shit on the recall.
But you guys voted in a recall that said they violated the Sunshine.
This is where you need to really pay attention. There is a process for getting signatures to get someone to recall, and that's a process.
Mm-hmm.
And there are allegations on those things to get signatures to put them to a vote. Once it goes to a vote, it has nothing to do with those allegations. What is on the ballot says, do you want official A to be removed? Period. End of story. That has nothing to do.
So let's go back over here, Greg.
Over here's done.
Do you believe? Well, we're just having a chat, bro. I mean, you came on the show because you usually answer questions. Do you believe John and Karen violated the Sunshine Law? Do you believe John and Karen accepted gifts? Do you believe those allegations to be true?
I believe an allegation there is true. Yes.
One allegation against both of them, or
yes,
against both of them. Which allegation is that?
Sunshine Law violation.
And do you have proof of that? Have you seen it?
It's not up to me to have proof. I didn't make the allegation.
So it's safe enough for you to just say it because nobody really needs to prove it because it doesn't matter on a recall whether you prove it or not.
I don't make the rules.
Is there any proof anywhere out there in the atmosphere?
Absolutely.
Somebody has proof.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it legal?
Yeah. Well, again, this is all legal process. It's going to be an eye of the beholder. I show it to you, you're going to be like, that's not enough proof. So it doesn't,
I'm not going to say
it really
that.
doesn't matter.
Is the proof
but it really doesn't matter. It only matters
to
the voters.
It does matter to me because you guys totally, I don't mean you two guys, but the recall committee has totally damaged two people's reputation on allegations that don't need to be proved.
That's your opinion.
You wouldn't like that being done to you.
But shit happens. Politics is an ugly business.
That's right.
Right?
That's
you
right.
do things in Cape Coral. You understand how you have a show in Cape Coral.
Yeah.
You understand how their meetings are ran. I lived in Cape Coral. I know how.
Let me ask you a question.
We have a much more civilized
on
process
the Cape,
here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I have to tell you guys, Cape Coral runs circles around you when it comes to the nuttiness.
Yeah.
I interview the mayor in Cape Coral, and if I'm boring you guys, just raise your hand and I'll end the show. I mean, I don't want to bore anybody, but we have free coffee mugs if you stick around. So the mayor, I'm interviewing the mayor at 5:00 tomorrow from Cape Coral on the other channel. He's running for re-election. There's an agenda item coming up in one of the next few agendas where they have to vote on the contract for the waste removal. Like, I only thought there was Waste Pro. I didn't know there was like 3 different companies or 5 different companies. So he's running for re-election. In his pack, he's got a $10,000 donation from Waste Pro. Like, I'm like, I have to ask you about that tomorrow. Like, you're taking $10,000 in your pack, and the contract, is that not crazy? Am I the only one that thinks that's crazy?
No, it's not. But that's, again, politics is an ugly business.
But
right?
you can't. And now you give people a reason. You give people a reason to take shots at you, and I'm like, I'm going to have to ask you about that tomorrow. That's like, because now he's in an election where people are looking for things. I mean, it seems goofy to me, but nobody cares about Cape Coral.
I know.
So what do you think? You live on the South End.
South End.
You're short of restaurants. You can't wait for South Beach to open. You might have gone to a food truck if the Wyndham was there. What do you think about London Bay?
Oh, London Bay?
Yes, London Bay.
It doesn't meet the comp plan or the LDC.
So no go with 15? Or?
I think they overpaid for their property. I think Seagate overpaid for the property. I do agree with Greg that we're not responsible for making these developers financial decisions. And I think they came in quickly after Hurricane Ian and they well overpaid. And now they're stuck with that property because of the implications of taking a loss on those properties. It doesn't bid well for future project financing.
Isn't there a contingent of residents on the island that love the way things are going right now? They love the fact that they can go down Estero Boulevard and see nothing. They want those beach views and they want that property empty for as long as possible because they love those views.
I don't think, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I don't think that anybody who lives on the island says, hey, they know that that's going to be there forever. They know that something's going to be built there. And again, even the people like me who say, hey, we're not anti-development. And this is something that people need to understand. There's a difference between being anti-development, where I don't want anything built on the island at all, which is not what I'm saying, not what I think most of the voters are saying, and human scale responsible development on the island. There's a difference there. And I think we're all understand that those lots, they're going to be built at some time. There's going to be homes in there. Those homes are going to be bigger. They're going to be higher up. That's just what's going to happen. But right. I don't think anybody says, oh, we just want to sit on our thumbs because we like the view. We all know the view's temporary, right? But there's no reason why we have to, again, allow things like London Bay or Seagate or any of those things that come in and just blatantly ignore, disrespectfully so, the rules that we have on the books.
And just to that point, when you're a South Sider and you're driving the length of the island once all of the season's over, the South Side looks pretty doggone good.
Oh, hell yeah.
And not until you just get to the far north side where things still look terrible.
Terrible.
And I think people may have overpaid for those properties, and they just can't figure out the finances on them.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Your beer's getting cold.
Thanks.
Big hand for Kevin Sullivan.
Woo!
Tom, can you come on? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I want to ask you if you're running. I won't. I promise. Tom Brady is here in the house. You brought a lot of supporters, and I appreciate that, Greg. Tom Brady here. The Tom Brady. Now retired. Tom, I'm not going to ask you if you're going to run. There's plenty of time for that. But I do want to know what your thoughts are on the London Bay project. Whoop. You're good.
Sorry. I don't think I could add much to what Greg said already. Is that we have a plan, and they should, if they're not going to stick to the plan, they need to really provide some concrete reasons why they're not going to stick to the plan. And I haven't seen any of those yet. Now, we haven't sat through the LPA, and I did not attend any of the briefing sessions because apparently they were only held for the people that lived in the near vicinity of that property. So I don't know what they said, but I don't know what the trade-off there is. I don't know what the great benefit to the town would be to build a building that big. And it's not there is, as Greg said, there's an exception for properties on the south end to build taller if the adjacent buildings are that tall. Mm-hmm. And I've always said that if the people in the south end want that strongly and it fits within the comp plan that's an adjacent building, then that's okay. That's within the comp plan and the provisions that are in there today.
But obviously it doesn't fit within the comp plan just by looking at the picture. It's not even close.
No, it basically says in their packet, this is not, unless they pass a very risky comp plan amendment, then
why is it risky?
Because it allows them to calculate their own FAR.
Yeah.
It basically, and again, they're saying they have 3.5 acres. There's some contention whether that's actually what they should be able to use in the calculation. I don't know. I'm not a planner, but even use their 3.5 acres. They're writing their own rules for their floor area ratio. And if they're allowed to do that, how do you tell anybody else that they can't?
No, you can't. You definitely can't.
That's a problem.
So, Tom, what do you, when you did you see the Diamond Head proposal?
Yes.
What did you think
about that before that? I think they're trying to lunch off the fact of the goodwill that they created, but I don't like the fact that they're ticking off a lot of their neighbors that are there. And I think they could have done something smaller too. After all, they're the impetus behind the town setting off on its own anyway. And to ask for that is probably more than that community in that area would like to see.
Yeah. So what do you think? What is your feeling of the makeup of the town council now? The 5 members that we have on there now.
It is what it is. I mean, they went through the process. They
Right.
John
Are they
got in.
speaking for the people?
John got in.
Over you, yeah.
Yeah, and I was that outlook that was probably preordained in some ways.
I don't think
but
that's true. I feel like that was. I really thought you had a shot. I didn't think it was preordained. Why do you feel that way?
Well, it's just a gut feel.
Okay,
that's all.
No proof. But that's what goes around here.
Wait,
you don't
we
really
had one
need proof.
council member that was not was told by the attorney that he was not allowed to vote for him.
They say what?
We had one council member who was told by the attorney that he was not allowed to vote for Tom.
Right.
For nothing.
Yeah.
For something that Tom.
And
no
I really-
actions of him.
and
his
I
own,
really
right?
object.
Well, he
to
wasn't
that
going to
whole
vote. He wasn't going to vote for
I-
Tom
I
anyway.
Agreed, but
Well, then
Right.
why say it anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole thing
it
was
sounded-
kind of awkward.
It sounded rather vindictive to me.
Oh yeah, you and John going back was great radio. I got to say that, but it was definitely awkward.
it
For
was
sure.
unneeded. It
Yeah,
was unneeded.
and so what do you think of how the beach overall is recovering, Tom?
Oh, I think if you look at residential, it's phenomenal, and it's going up quick too. A lot of people got in early, like I did, and like Greg did, and said, "We're committed to this island. We love it. We don't want to be anywhere else." And we put our money where our mouths were, and immediately started building. And it's really sad to see that the people are not capitalizing on the projects that have been approved already to get them going.
Yeah, that is
You
frustrating.
just talked to someone
That is
the other day,
frustrating.
right? It said they had a great season.
Yeah.
Right. We're 3 years from
Oh.
one of the most devastating natural
Almost
disasters
4
to
years.
ever hit anywhere.
Yeah, but I also think people are having a great season, because people love Fort Myers Beach, and there's not a lot of choices. That's why everyone that's already here is having a great season. There's not a lot of places to go.
Really? We have a whole lot of coastline in Florida.
No, I'm talking about on the beach. When you come to Fort Myers Beach, it's not like it was before the storm where you can go to 50,
But what I'm
60
saying
different
is
places.
that why are people still coming? Yeah, I think we did a great job of recovery.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like what we've done here on this island the past almost 4 years should be celebrated.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. We're on a really great trajectory. We don't, again, none of this stuff, none of this London-based stuff or the Seagate stuff, none of that's going to happen in any timeline.
Right. I'll be dead.
I won't say that. That's a very
I mean,
mean
some
thing
of these
to say,
projects
but
will take a long
it's going
time.
to take a long time. And
Yeah.
and if we want to, if people want to continue the trajectory of recovery, we need to start looking at how we improve the smaller human scale developments. That will get things moving faster. That'll keep the ball rolling. It'll keep people coming if that's what you want. I mean, that's what we need to do.
And I haven't seen actual hard numbers about the number of rentals that have happened, but talking to people that run those businesses, I was worried because the traffic was actually less than I've seen it in the past.
I thought so.
But their businesses are doing
Right.
phenomenal.
Peter Albert was on the show yesterday. He said that it was a good season.
It was a very good season.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? We have a lot fewer places open for them to go to, and still we're getting the people
Yeah.
come to the island. Now the mix has changed somewhat. And the mix change, I think most people say this is really good for the island too. It's less, the crazy spring breakers, party hardy
Thank goodness,
people,
yeah.
and more mixed group of people that come to the island, and that looks good for
What,
everybody.
before I let you guys go, what do you expect to see on Tuesday at the LPA meeting, audience-wise? Is there are people getting ready to speak at public comment?
I think
one way or the
so.
other?
I intend to be there. I think Jim and others will do on the LPA will do a great job of drilling into that project.
Yeah.
We've got good people on that LPA
Agreed.
group. So
Yeah.
so I think they'll drill into it. I'm hoping they'll make the right decision. The way I feel, but they're going to do a good job of going through that project. It isn't like they're not qualified to review
Right.
it.
And that's an all-day event on Tuesday. It looks like it's going to take a long time to go through all that stuff, right?
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, Greg Scasny and Tom Brady, thank you guys so much for coming on. Appreciate it. And before we let you go, Dawn Miller is in the house. And Dawn, I don't know if she can hear, but she's sitting over there. Can you guys get Dawn's attention real quick? I want to ask her to come on and talk about Jamie. She's right over there. If you guys could grab Dawn's attention to come over here, I want to ask her a few things. Dawn, come on down. Dawn's going to give us an update on the fireworks. Dawn Miller is organizing the fireworks for the 4th of July and other events that are going on. So we want to kind of, I don't want to say we want to end on a positive note. I just want to end the show on a different note other than politics. I saw you sitting over there in the corner, and I wanted to get an update from you on how we're doing with the fundraising for the 4th of July.
We are at $110,000.
Very
so
nice.
That leaves us down at like 19,000 that we need.
19,000, and that means we're going to have a 4th
Right,
of July parade and a 4th of July fireworks, which, in case you didn't know it, if you're from Wisconsin, the 4th of July is actually July 4th. So if you were wondering what day it was on, that's when it's on, and that's great. So it looks like you guys are going to smash that one out of the park.
Oh, absolutely. So the Whale is still doing roundup for the fireworks. We'll continue to do that. Wahoo Willie's, Snug Harbor, SOB is going to do some fundraising, I think, during their Cinco de Mayo party. And then, of course, Detroit Dogs is doing Fridays. $1 for every dog they sell. They donate it over to us. So that will keep going. So I foresee us getting funded by the end of the month, which is plenty of time to get things going. I did see the town put in for the permit for the fireworks in the parade.
Sweet, yeah.
That was promising.
Yeah.
They trust me now.
All right. And you also have another event coming up, the event on the South End with...
Oh, yeah. Glow by the Golf is next Saturday. So we'll start on Friday night. We're going to have a sound bath meditation on the beach. I know you'll be there, right, Ed? And then we'll do the same thing on Saturday night. We'll also start with sunrise yoga and a boot camp. All of that.
I love sunrise yoga.
I know you do.
Yes.
I will see you there.
I love hot sunrise yoga with goats.
We won't have any goats.
There goes Greg's notes. So we got the fireworks, you got the Glow by the Gulf, and lastly, tell us how the Whale is doing. The last major opening on the island, the place is always packed, and I love the yard out in the front there where you got the people lounging around in those cool chairs.
Yeah,
it's an awesome atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm there most of the time, even though I shouldn't be. But at any rate, we're having a blast there. Obviously, we're on the other side, on the downside of season, which will be good for just
rest
getting
and relaxation.
Well, no, we've got a lot more work to do on the building that we just kind of halted so we could get through season. So you'll see some changes happening this summer.
Sandy Bottoms?
Sandy Bottoms is closer to getting to a permit.
So
we were struggling with 50% rule. So yeah, which I was shocked then to see Surf Club moving. Like what?
Yeah, the Surf Club is they're putting on some new stucco, or they're painting the outside, and then they're going to open for one day out of the year.
Yeah, I can foresee
seems
that,
like the history
but,
of what they do there. I mean, what a great location that would be for something right there next to you guys. So for those that don't know, Sandy Bottoms is kind of like a mile down by Diamond Head-ish.
Yeah, it's a half a mile from the Whale, south of the Whale. So.
And there's going to be a gigantic tiki bar.
Yes.
If you haven't seen the pictures, they're really cool. It's going to be a tiki bar right out in where you guys have the dirt there, where it's going to be a people watching a spot for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a huge, the tiki hut is about the same size as the building.
Yeah.
So it'll be fabulous. You'll probably find me there more often than at the Whale.
Closer to your house.
So but
and Dawn is here to announce that she's running for town council. Everybody, this is her campaign kickoff.
Yeah, it is definitely not.
You want to talk about a landslide? Dawn running for town council would be the greatest.
You see my eyes? Do you see how tired I look?
Yeah.
I'm
Were you out
exhausted.
late last night?
No. I
tired?
try to get home by 8. My brain is, I've got the charm crawl, I've got the mullet madness, I've got, all these things.
Yeah.
And
you're trying to run a business.
Right.
And the organization is called What's Up FMB. If you don't know about it, you can find it on Facebook and sign up and become a member. And they meet at Nervous Nelly's once a month-ish.
Yeah, actually, we're moving down to Diamond Head. So we're going to be at Diamond Head the second Wednesday of every month at 3 p.m.
And pretty soon they're going to have 57 new floors over there. Or stories or rooms, not floors, not stories.
You know what? I'd be lying if I said I seen anything about it other than obviously your post. And I didn't even look into it.
I was at the meeting with the Surf Song residents who I mean, I know a lot of them and I feel bad for them. But I love the way the hotel looks too. It's like I like those people and I don't want them to lose their view. But it looks like a pretty cool thing to me.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't get a vote, and I just have to drive down here to stay. They got a nice new elevated pool and the whole thing. I think.
They're going to have an elevated pool in it.
I'm saying that as if it's going to get approved, but if they got approved, they have a nice, second pool, elevated pool, which
that'd be
would
nice.
be cool.
Yeah.
So,
well, as long as it has sun on it, because I will tell you, as an Island Winds girl, that's where I grew up, and with the two buildings and the pool in the middle, we definitely had a lot of shade on the pool.
Yeah, I think there was some issues with the shade, but all right. Anything
else?
If
they think it can make it work, then make it work. So.
Anything else with you? And where's Mikey?
Well, we got a new bookkeeper today, and it's crunch time. So he is with our bookkeeper, which is where he's been all week.
And you said the number is at what for the fourth again?
Over 110,000.
110. So. That's all money that was raised, everybody. So good job, Dawn. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Big hand for Dawn Miller, everybody. All right. Before we let you guys go, don't hang up the phone, please. And by the way, there's an event going on that starts at 12 o'clock here in Bayside Park. I want you to go down and meet all the 501c3s and meet some of the boaters from the mooring field. What I can tell you is the one guy that was staying off of Bowditch in that boat over there, he's not going to be there. That guy is in jail, and he's not getting out of jail. So just so you know, everybody's cool over here. Some of you know what I mean. When you get a chance, I want you to go down to the Islands Pancake House, which is in the Seagrave Plaza. Not too far down from the Sandy Bottoms location. They are open 7 days a week from 7:30 to 2 o'clock. They serve breakfast and lunch, and they'll stay open longer if you need them to. They serve made-to-order breakfast and lunch. Go see Brian and Stacy at the Islands Pancake House, and thank you for sponsoring the show. And as Greg mentioned earlier, call Michael Stewart if you're building a new structure, whether it's mechanical, electrical, anything, residential, commercial. Michael Stewart is the man to call first. You should follow him on Facebook. Check out his social media. He's got great videos. Or you can check him out on his website, mstewartpe.com. That's mstewartpe.com. And finally, Alex King. Give Alex King a call if you want your dream created or a lifestyle elevated. That's right, Alex King, who is not only one of the biggest philanthropists on Fort Myers Beach. He has a company that will help you find your dream home here on Fort Myers Beach. Give Alex King a call and the Alex King Group. Follow them on social media too. 239-219-0336. 239-219-0336. Thank you all for tuning in today. We'll see you at Bayside Park, and we will see you tomorrow online at 3 o'clock with our interview with London Bay CEO Mark Wilson. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.